Hare श्री गोनिताई की जय, दशदेव भगवान की जय। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमः। Hare
Divine grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya. Astutra Stata Shishima His Divine Grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Sikahor Sri Krshna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki. Jai Vrindavan Dham ki. Jai Mathura Dham ki. Jai Navadvip Dham ki. Jai Jagannath Pur Dham ki. Jai Mayapur Dham ki. Jai Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya ki. Jai Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki. Jai Sankirtan Yagya ki. Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki. Jai Gaura Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Nrisimha Chaturdashi ki.
Namaste Narasimha. महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। इताई गौर प्रेमानंद।
Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. My name is Dulal, and I have to speak really close to make this microphone sing. So I'm going to speak like this. I'd like to welcome you all here to our, I was going to say our Sunday Feast program. It's not the case. It's Thursday, and it's still just as packed in here. Everybody came out to join us today. What a wonderful occasion. Today is the appearance day of Nrisimha Dev. Nrisimha Dev ki jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. We were just singing. So it's a wonderful occasion. It's a festival. The Lord came in the form of half man, half lion, right, to see his devotee. You know, at the call of his devotee, at the urging of the father of Prahlad Maharaj as well. He came and he showed up, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before I was going to go any further, I just wanted to ask, is there anybody here coming for the first time? Yes. Hare Krishna, welcome. Now let's give a round of applause to our guests. So, as you can see, we just finished offering different paraphernalia to our Lordship. This is Shri Shri Gaura and Nitai. Right? We have Gaura here on this side, on my right-hand side, and Lord Nityananda on the left-hand side. And those two are none different than Lord Krishna and Balaram as well. And which is also none different than Lord Nrisimha Dev, right? The Lord comes out in different moods, right? He comes to fulfill specific pastimes, to answer the prayers of his devotees, right? Those are the reasons. There's many reasons, but in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, what's that verse? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya taduskritam. Samabhami yuke yuke. And it says here, Krishna says it in the Bhagavad Gita, that I come to deliver the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants also. But mainly to deliver the devotees. The miscreants part is just a little bit of fun, right? He likes to wrestle, right? Just like everybody. We like a little bit of a challenge, so Krishna likes that as well. And so I'll just give you a little bit of a, I guess, schedule for this evening. It's a work night, so we're not going to go to midnight, okay? we're going to, and you know, the deities have to get up in the morning also. There's a 4:30 in the morning program, right? So they can't go to bed too late as well. But that doesn't stop us from celebrating. And so what we'll do, we'll speak a little bit about the pastime of Lord Nrisimha Dev and his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. And then we have a quiz that's going to be presented to us by Mother Ekarani Janaki. So I hope you're ready. I don't know if you were here for the last festival we had, I think it was Gaura Purnima, we had a quiz. So we have another quiz. Right? There was lots of enthusiasm here last time. And then after that, we'll have a little bit more Kirtan, and we'll conclude with Prasadam, which is pretty much it's food that has been offered to the Lord. It's a vegetarian feast, has been blessed, and we're going to share in that afterwards. So I hope that you can stay, join us for the entirety of the program, and also if you have some questions, we'll try to leave a few minutes for questions, realizations, reflections, and the discussion can go on throughout the evening. Start off with an invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, so I will speak from a verse from the Bhagavatam, but I won't get there right away. That's not going to be the main focus, that verse specifically of the talk. So I'll start before giving my commentary or hearing from different scriptures, I'm going to also say prayers to my Guru as well and ask for the blessings of the devotees here so that whatever comes out of my mouth can somewhat be in the lineage parampara and pleasing to the devotees and to our lordships. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vatsam Pangum Langayate Yat Kripathadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Viltave Srimate Niranjana Swami Iti Namine Nahata Prayasena Prabhupadasha Tustaye Sankirtan Pravritya Dayate Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Viltave Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, just a little translation to the prayer that we were singing. Namaste Narasimhaya. So, the first verse, some of you might be wondering, what are we singing? What's the translation of this? We did this with our kids today. We have a school in Russell, and it's called Bhakta Prahlad Montessori School, right? So we're trying to follow in the line lineage of Bhakta Prahlad, right? Talk about what it is that Bhakta Prahlad was talking about. And we don't usually sing this prayer. We go straight into singing Hare Krishna. And first we sing prayer to Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and then we sing Hare Krishna. And this time around, we were singing the Nrisimha prayers, and the kids were wondering, what's this all about, right? And we went into it, we discussed a little bit about the story, and they've heard it before in bits and pieces, but we went into it in a little bit more detail. It's okay, I think I have enough battery in there. I'm okay. Thank you. And so this first verse, it says, Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Aladadayine Hiranya Kashipur Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakalaye. So the translation of this verse is, I offer my obeisances to Lord Narasimha, who gives joy to Prahlad Maharaj, and whose nails are like chisels on a stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Second verse is, Lord Nrisimha is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrisimha is there. He is in the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Nrisimha, the origin of all things and the supreme refuge. Third verse, O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you, just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. How nice. Okay. And graphic at the same time. So, does anybody not know the story of Nrisimhadev? Raise your hands if you haven't heard the story about the half man, half lion form of the Lord. Everybody knows the story? Yeah. I mean, some of you must be like, nobody's putting their hand up. I'm not going to put my hand up also, just in case. It'll save a lecture, right? So we'll just go through it again. I mean, this is one of the reasons why the Lord descends again, to give us something to talk about. We have so many things to talk about, things in the newspaper, and none of the things that we see out there are as exhilarating and as exciting and as transcendental as the topics from the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So the topics which speak about the glories of the Lord and His devotees. So once upon a time, there was a man who was a king, and his name was Hiranyakashipu. And through providence, he was kind of a naughty fellow. He was really me-centric. He was thinking that he wanted to become the controller of the universe, the king of all, and he wanted to do whatever he could to achieve this goal. He was very determined. And his brother, actually, Hiranyaksha, already suffered a pretty bad fate because he was challenged, he was defeated by Lord Varaha, which was another incarnation of the Lord that earlier came down and he dealt with him. And Hiranyakashipu had a lot of envy. He was thinking, this Vishnu, who does he think he is? Does he not know who I am? Does he know my abilities, what I can do? And so he was really thinking about this. And he was discussing, with his nephews. He was trying to teach them. He had his own little school of thought. And he was trying to explain to them that, the goal of life, really, it's karma. It's out there, right? So if you do good things happen to you. You work really hard, right? If you do bad things, sometimes bad things happen to you. But that's pretty much it. It's all within your control, right? You can do this. And so he wanted to show by example, right? We read this verse in the Gita, Yadyajatarati Shrestha, by example, right? How he can do this, right? He has the ability to make himself achieve whatever he wants to achieve. And so he started to perform these austerities, this meditation, and he was trying to invoke the presence of Lord Brahma, known as the Creator. He knew that Brahma, he understood that there are some other powerful personalities that are out there, and he wanted to invoke the presence of Lord Brahma because he was thinking, as karma, if I do something good, then there's a good chance that I'm going to get a benediction. He's going to reward me. And so he was meditating, and the demigods, other demigods saw him and how determined he was, and his austerity was actually creating a little bit of an imbalance, and they were starting to feel, a little kind of scared. They're like, Brahma, you better deal with this person, right? He's really manipulating the forces of nature here, and he's performing some really big austerity. Everybody's taking notice of this. And so Brahma eventually, he arrived at the foot of Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu, once he saw Brahma, he offers his respects and his obeisances. And in short, Brahma said, okay, so I'm here, I can give you a benediction. What kind of benediction would you like? And he knew what he wanted. He knew his competitor was Lord Vishnu, right? And he was thinking, I want to be immortal, right? I want to die. Lord Brahma was saying, well, how can I give you that benediction? I'm not even immortal, right? And he said, Hiranyakashipu was clever, and he was thinking in his mind, okay, maybe I can find some way around this. And so he started to say, I have an idea. And he said, can you give me a benediction so that I cannot be killed by any man? And he was thinking, he was trying to cover his bases, an animal. I can't be killed by an animal. I can't be killed by a weapon. Maybe you can all help me out a little bit. What were some of the benedictions that he was asking for? So not killed by a man, not killed by an animal, by a weapon. Okay, let's do one more. Let's raise hands. Yes,
Not day or night.
Not day or night. Okay, that's two. What's another one? Yes. On the sky. I can't be killed in the sky or on the earth. Yes. What was? Yes.
Not inside the house and outside the house.
Not inside the house, not outside the house. What else was it?
Any living or non-living being.
That's right. Any living or non-living being. Yeah. Is that it? Did we cover everything? Is he safe?
Any weapon.
So he can't be killed by a weapon. Yeah.
Not by hands.
Not by hands. Okay. Yes?
Not by any demigod or Gandharva.
Okay. Okay, so I think he should be pretty good, right? Okay. So Lord Brahma, he appeased the request of Hiranyakashipu, and he granted him this benediction. And then, as had it later on, a son was born. He had a son. His wife gave birth to a son. But before she gave birth to the son of Hiranyakashipu, there was, again by providence, Narada Muni happened to cross paths with the mother of the son that was in her womb, and he was talking to her about the science of Krishna consciousness. He was talking to her about the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam, essentially. And that was pretty much, that was a little bit of a contact, a little bit of a prelude that anticipates what was to happen next. Because later on, this boy was born, and his name was Prahlad, and he was the son of Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu, he was so excited. He said, "Oh, I have an heir to my throne. He's going to be even a bigger rascal than me. He's going to conquer, right? And he will serve me also. He's going to learn from me. He'll pay homage to me and all of these things." And so, as the boy was growing up, he wanted to make sure that his son had the best type of education. And he employed two of the sons of one of his ministers. It was Sanda and Amarka, right? Those two. And they were teachers. They were expert teachers. And they were very proficient in the science of economics, business, politics, and things like this. And they were employed by Hiranyakashipu to really give him a proper education. And so this was going on. He was going to this school, but some things were happening. As he was attending the school, it turns out that some things were coming out of Prahlad's mouth. And here I'm going to read some excerpts here. Once upon a time, Hiranyakashipu inquired from his son what the best thing was that he had learned from his teachers. Prahlad Maharaj replied that a man engrossed in the material consciousness of duality, thinking this is mine and that belongs to my enemy, should give up his householder life and go to the forest to worship the Supreme Lord. When Hiranyakashipu heard from his son about devotional service, he decided that this small boy had been polluted by some friend in school. Thus he advised the teachers to take care of the boy so that he would not become a Krishna-conscious devotee. However, when the teachers inquired from Prahlad Maharaj why he was going against their teachings, Prahlad Maharaj taught the teachers that the mentality of ownership is false, and that he was therefore trying to become an unalloyed devotee of Lord Vishnu. The teachers, being very angry at this answer, chastised and threatened the boy with many fearful conditions. They taught him to the best of their ability, and then brought him before his father. So finally, they spent a lot of time trying to, how would you say it nowadays, brainwash him, right? Or turn him to the right path as they saw it. And finally, they brought him in front of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu affectionately took his son Prahlad on his lap and then inquired from him what the best thing was that he had learned from his teachers. As usual, Prahlad Maharaj began praising the 9 processes of devotional service, such as Shravanam, hearing, right, and Kirtanam, chanting. Thus, the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, being extremely angry, chastised the teachers, Sanda and Amarka, for having wrongly trained Prahlad Maharaj. The so-called teachers informed the king that Prahlad Maharaj was automatically a devotee and did not listen to their instructions. When they proved themselves innocent, Hiranyakashipu inquired from Prahlad where he had learned Vishnu Bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj replied that those who are attracted to family life do not develop Krishna consciousness, either personally or collectively. Instead, they suffer repeated birth and death in this material world and continue simply chewing the chewed. Prahlad explained that the duty of every man is to take shelter of a pure devotee and thus become eligible to understand Krishna consciousness. Enraged at this answer, Hiranyakashipu threw Prahlad Maharaj from his lap. Since Prahlad was so treacherous that he had become a devotee of Vishnu who had killed his uncle Hiranyakashipu asked his assistants to kill him. The assistants of Hiranyakashipu struck Prahlad with sharp weapons, threw him under the feet of elephants, subjected him to hellish conditions, threw him from the peak of a mountain, and tried to kill him in thousands of other ways, but they were unsuccessful. There's some examples that, he had tried to get him whipped, put him in a pit of snakes, get him to drink poison, tried to set him on fire, so many things. And no matter what they would do, somehow Prahlad Maharaj came unscathed. He wasn't affected. And so Hiranyakashipu therefore became increasingly afraid of his son Prahlad Maharaj and arrested him. the son of Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, Shukracharya, began teaching Prahlad in their own way. But Prahlad Maharaj did not accept their instructions. While the teachers were absent from the classroom, Prahlad Maharaj began to preach Krishna consciousness in the school, and by his instructions, all his class friends, the sons of demons, became devotees like him. And so, finally, as this saga continued, it came to a boiling point. At one point, Prahlad Maharaj, or Bhakta Prahlad at that time, little Prahlad, he came to the court of his father, and his father was just really, he couldn't figure out how to, by his arrangements, to really rebuke his son, to punish him. And finally, he got so frustrated that he took his sword out and he started asking him, "You talk about your Vishnu, your Lord. Here is your Lord. He's there. He's everywhere. Is he here?" And Prahlad started to say, "Yes, he's there. Is he here?" He said, "Yes, he's here. He's everywhere." And he said, "Is he in this pillar?" And Prahlad Maharaj said, "Yeah, he's also on the pillar." "Well, then show me." And he took his sword and he was about to cut off the head of Prahlad. He came charging at him. And right then, out of the pillar came out this munificent, amazing form, half man, half lion. Right? Nrishingadev ki! He came out and he picked up Hiranyakashipu and he took him on his lap. And with his claws, it was neither, the timing was like, I think it was twilight, right? So it was neither nighttime or daytime. And he didn't have a weapon because he was using his claws. He was neither a man or a lion. He was half in between. And it was neither inside or outside because it was in the doorway on his lap. It wasn't really in the air on the ground. And he came out and he fulfilled the wishes of Hiranyakashipu. All the benedictions came true. And he came with his claws, and it's graphic. We have a picture here on the altar, and we could see, we worship this picture of Hiranyakashipu having his intestines taken out, right? And later being garlanded by Prahlad Maharaj. And so, people when they hear this, sometimes, they hear different stories from our culture, right, from the Vedas. And they say, well, these stories didn't actually happen. This is just like Hindu mythology, right? It's just moral stories to make you feel good and do things. And it's actually quite contrary. This is history, right? These books that we're reading are history books. And you could see that Prahlad Maharaj had so much faith. He had so much faith that the Lord was present. He's this embodiment of faith, of remembrance, remembering the Lord, that the Lord actually manifested himself, came out of the pillar, right, to answer the call, the prayers, the calling of his devotee, his servant. And he came out, and he took his nails and he took apart Hiranyakashipu. And you might be wondering and thinking, Prahlad was probably like, "Yay! Good job, Nrishingadev. Thanks for coming to my rescue. Take that, Dad. That'll teach you next time, right? You know what to do." But it was quite the opposite, actually. And this is, again, when we talk about education, Prahlad Maharaj really shows us by his example and by his prayers what proper education is, how we should be, how we should conduct ourselves, what kind of requests should we have. If there's a benediction that comes, the custom is that, yes, if the Lord is offering a benediction, we should take a benediction. But what are the prayers? What is it that a devotee asks for when a benediction is granted? I had this one experience once when I was probably grade 9 or something like that. It was just entering in high school. And I had a hard time. For some reason, I was a really easy target for bullies to pick on. And I remember maybe because I was so outspoken, who can say. But there was some kids on the back of the bus, right? And there was like grade 12s that were there. And there was always some kind of, egging me on, right? Or some teasing or something from the kids on the bus. And I would bump into them in Russell, in my town where I lived, here and then, every once in a while. And I remember one time I was, happy-go-lucky, rollerblading with my new rollerblades. I think I was heading to the post office there. And and I bumped into my friends there, and there's quite a few of them. There must have been like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 of them that were there. And they saw me, and it was kind of like at the end of winter, so there was some snow still on the ground, and they saw me there, and they kind of cornered me with snowballs, and they were going to get me, right? And I remember seeing this, as a young, impressionable teenager. I was scared, and I started to tear up inside, and I wanted to run away. So I went home, I rollerbladed back home, and I was all in tears and everything, and my father saw me there, and he was like, what happened? What happened to you? And I said, the bullies, they tried to get me with the snowballs. And he said, show me where this happened, right? And he hopped and he says, you go with your rollerblades over there and show me where this is. I need to see this, see what's happening. And so I went with my rollerblades, and my father followed me in the back with the minivan. And so I rollerbladed right in front, and they were like, oh yes, he's back, this is great, right? And they were getting ready, they picked up their snowballs, and then my father, vroom, came with the minivan. Suddenly he hopped out of the car, and you could see the boys there, they were standing there, just dropped the snowballs behind them, and he had a little talk with them. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, Dad, you give it to them. Run them over with your minivan if you can, that'd be even better. Right? And I was thinking, like, what would Prahlad Maharaj do, right? He wasn't like this. He wasn't thinking, oh, go get him, right? He was so compassionate. And one of the prayers, which is a famous prayer in the Bhagavatam, which is 5th canto, 18th chapter, text number 9, he says, when he's praying to Lord Nrisimha when he appears, Svasti astu vishvasya kala prasidatam. Dayantu bhutani shivam mito dhiya. Manascha bhadram bhajatad adhokshaje aveshyatam momatir api haitaki. His prayer is, may there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of him. And then Prabhupada in his purport, he quotes the verse that we very often say, or the words that we say when we meet the devotees, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. He says, just like a desire tree, a Vaishnava can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlad Maharaj is a typical Vaishnava. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnava, who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. And then one small other section, he says, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prays in this verse, Kala prasidatam, may all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrisimha to sit in our hearts. We should pray, Bahir Nishimho Kridaye Nrisimha. Let Lord Nrisimha sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, maybe, are there any brief questions? Because we're going to go on to our next activity, which is going to be the quiz. But maybe before we do, does anybody have any reflections, quick reflections, questions, corrections? We're all ready for the quiz, yeah? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of minutes to get set up. Maybe Prabhu and Prabhu will lead us in Hare Krishna for a few minutes. Yeah.
Можно чуть побольше. Но этот нельзя.
Probably only have like 30 seconds. Go ahead. Finish with this.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So we have interactive quiz, and most questions were answered during the lecture, so it would be a very easy quiz. And if you know answer, just raise your hand. And if this answer is right, we have some gifts. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. And I ask some help from. Let's do one question from Prabhu and one question from Mataji. Yes. Okay. Yashika would like to start.
You need the question. To read the question.
So, yes, you can read. Dulal.
Question 1. Which canto of Srimad Bhagavad describes the activities of Lord Nrisimha Dev?
Please.
No.
Yes.
She wants to answer it. Canto 7.
Yes. So, and now Prabhu, yes. So, Canto 7.
Question 2. Name the residents of Vaikuntha Lok who had to take birth in the material world by the curse of sages. Option A, Kashipu and Hiranyaksh. B, Shishupal and Dantavakra. C, Jagaya and Magara.
Just a second, we have technology problem here. No. Okay, you can have it. Jaya and Vijaya. Просто масштаб уменьшить.
Question number 3. Why did Hiranyakashipu hated Vishnu? A. Because he killed his son. B. Because he killed his brother. C. Because he killed his wife. And D. Because he killed his sister.
Yes. Brother. Yes. Next.
Why did Hiranyakashipu hated Vishnu? Sorry. Hiranyakashipu performed tapas or austerities to impress which god?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, this is correct.
Hiranyakashipu had sustained his life without even drinking water for option A 10 years, B 100 years, C 1000 years, D 100 celestial years.
Yes. 100 years? No.
1,000 years.
Yes.
10 years.
Yes. 100 celestial years. Could you please read the answer? Could you please read?
The 100 celestial years. The one celestial year is equal to 6 into 30 into 12 into 1000, which is 2160,000 years.
We can see all the yes.
Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. He made his residence in heaven in Indra's palace, Goloka Vrindavana, Brahmaloka in Brahma's residence, Yamaloka in Yamaraja's residence.
Who knows answer? Could you repeat, please?
Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. He made his residence in A, heaven in Indra's palace, B, Goloka Vrindavan, C, Brahmaloka in Brahma's residence, or D, Yamaloka in Yamaraja's residence.
A. That's heaven.
Yes, heaven and earth. Next.
During Hiranyakashipu's reign,
Loud.
planet Earth produced food grains without being plowed. The ocean's rivers, tributaries supplied various kinds of gems and jewels for his use. All trees and plants produced fruits and flowers profusely in all seasons, and all of the above.
Which answer?
All of the above.
Yes.
Hiranyakashipu had blank well-qualified sons of whom the Lord was the best. A2, B4, C10, D100.
How many sons did Hiranyakashipu have? Yes. No. Yes. 4. Yes. 4. Mataji.
When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad what he learned from school, Prahlad replied, A. Information technology, B. Politics, C. Economics, and D. Path of self-realization and devotional self-realization.
Yes. It's the devotional service.
Prahlad Maharaj received the knowledge of Bhagavad Dharma from A. Vyasa, B. Narada, C. Kayadu, D. Brahma.
Yes. Yes.
There are dash forms of devotional service as explained by Prahlad. A 2, B 9, C 16 and D 64.
9.
Yes. Could you read that? Okay.
Answer?
Number 1, hearing. Number 2, chanting. Number 3, remembering. Number 4, serving the Lord's lotus feet. Number 5, TT worship. Number 6, praying. Number 7, executing orders. Number 8, serving as a friend. And number 9, complete surrender.
Thank you. Next. Prabhu? Who has mic?
Prahlad Maharaj explains as only goal of life: A. Charity, austerity and sacrifice; B. Good etiquette and vast learning; C. Being good Brahmins or great saints; D. To render services to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all.
D. Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Question 30. Statement of the servant Prahlad Maharaja that Supreme Lord is everywhere. Lord Narasimha appeared from dash of the assembly hall, the pillar, the roof, the floor, the wall.
Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj prayed that, O my Lord, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that A. Within the core of my heart, there be no material desires. B. I may become the king of the universe and live a long life. C. I may be promoted to vacant planets. Or D. My father may be brought back to life again.
Sorry, which answer?
B.
A.
My father.
No.
A.
No. Maybe you should check later, but no. Any other? Oh no, yes.
Question 15. Prahlad Maharaj says that his only concern is to overcome material existence, B. Give liberation to his demoniac family members, C. Keep himself away from indulging in sense gratification, and D. Bring back fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord.
Sorry, answer. B. Which? B?
Give liberation to demonic family.
No.
No.
Yes, A. No. C. C.
Other options.
The last one. So,
Who will get the prize?
who will get the prize?
Who didn't say anything?
D. Yes. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So sorry. So this is liberate all fools. And last question.
Prahlad Maharaj says it is definitely possible to be able to cross the ocean of ignorance by A. Engaging in the transcendental service of the Lord, B. Associating with devotees who are liberated souls, C. Following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession, D. All of the above.
Oh, yes. Which?
All of the above?
Yes, all of the above.
Krshna. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Wonderful. Good job. Until the next quiz, give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so now we're going to be coming close to the conclusion of our program. We'll stand up and we'll have the Kirtan to finish off with. We'll ask Akincana Dhan Prabhu if you will lead us in some Kirtan, and then Prasadam will be served.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parijikacharya Shratamashada Shishimati Sipakjivedanta Swami Maharaja Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parijikacharya Shratamashada Shishimati Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaja Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Shri Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON founder Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Priyam Sikha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gaura Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki Shri Dhama ki Jagannath Puri Dhama ki Ganga Maya ki Yamuna Maya ki Tulasi Devi ki Jagati Devi ki Shri Harinama Sankirtana ki Radha Mardanga ki Samarita Bhakta Vrinda ki Gaura Premananda Om Gaura Stoza Samyuta Om Gaura Stoza Samyuta Om Gaura Stoza Samyuta Om Gaura Shigura Shiguranda Gaura Shigura
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, a couple of announcements before the dinner.
about upcoming programs. So tomorrow, as always, we will have Friday Kirtan, still here at the temple, 6:30 p.m. every Friday. We're going to move the Kirtan party to the Strathcona Park once it becomes pretty warm outside. But tomorrow, still here, 6:30 Kirtan. Then Saturday, we have in the morning kids program at 11 a.m. right? Aadishyam Prabhu and Krshna Prabhu is leading that program. If you would like to come with kids, please reach out to them. Then the same day, Saturday, we have Bhakti Vriksha program here at the temple. It's a spiritual growth group, so-called, to get to know each other, to get deep into the philosophy. It's at 1 p.m., 1 to 3 p.m. this Saturday, every Saturday at the temple. Mataji Sadhana is leading and Mataji Karan is leading. Then Sunday feast, of course, at 3 p.m. every Sunday. Everyone is welcome. And we will have a special guest next Friday, May 12th. Instead of Kirtan here at the temple, we will have His Holiness Bhakti Prabhu Swami Maharaj coming. He's a sannyasi Swami preaching in Europe, but he's coming to North America to share his experience and wisdom in Krishna consciousness. Please come 6:30 in the week, Friday, May 12th. It seems that's it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.